let's move on to, talking of Harry and Meghan, and they've got this Netflix deal, haven't they? And it's just been all over the papers, both here in America, abroad, international press, everything, saying they've been binned by Netflix, their popularity has plummeted and all that sort of stuff. Actually, it's coming to the end of the contract and no one actually knows what's happening, do they, Chris?
No, I mean, they signed a 5-year contract when they left the royal family, and that was to give Netflix content. Now, arguably, we're looking here at Love Meghan, which was a great success and talked about, but the contract will naturally come to an end at some point. The other content they provided, of course, was a very big talking point, which was that 6-part series about them leaving the royal family. That was hugely watched as well. So I don't think you can argue that Netflix hasn't got their money's worth out of these two. There's been an Invictus one as well, one about polo. But, you know, the contract's going to come to an end. If they're in negotiations for what happens next, well, no one's going to talk about that, are they? It's to do with Netflix's own finances. It's to do with what Harry and Meghan do or do not want to do. So they're in contract negotiations. So we wait to find out what happens next.
I mean, we do know that as ever, there will be a second series with Love Meghan in the autumn. But Netflix have also partnered with As Ever. They're brand partners. So they do have that ongoing.
It's financially in their interest for As Ever to be a huge success. As you were saying out in the newsroom earlier, you can't get hold of any of the products because they've all sold out. That sold out. That might be because they are, restricting the supply, as clever businesses sometimes do. But you can't argue that it's not being a great success for her at the moment.
And also, the reality is, when it comes to the press and the royals, there'll always be a section of the media who will make stories out of not very much and sources that have no connection to the royal family whatsoever.
Absolutely. Oh, my golly. The amount of people who are pretending to be royal commentators or experts in the royal field. And I look at them and I think, have you ever actually met a member of the royal family or not? Yeah, absolutely.
But it sells papers in it, and it does well for
I was a bit worried you were going to say, like these two. Never met a member of the royal family, don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Luckily you didn't, but I was really expecting it to come.
You guys got a very interesting update on something we were talking about last week, the Peace Summit, which you called...
Coffee morning.
The coffee morning.
Yes.
We've got an update
I've
on
heard that
the coffee morning.
It's viewed that the coffee morning is a more accurate description than Peace
Did it not
Summit.
happen in the afternoon?
Yeah, okay, but... Apart from the time of day thing, it was, I call it 3 press officers had coffee rather than a peace summit. But I just think it's so overblown. But, the two sides are still talking to one another.
So anyone who didn't see it last week, explain what we're talking about.
So this is the meeting that happened between the most senior communication official at Buckingham Palace, Tobin Andre, and 2 members of staff from Harry and Meghan's office, Meredith Maines and Liam Maguire. They are senior communications people on their team. They had a meeting in a fancy private members club in St James's in London, and it was photographed and put on the front page of the Mail on Sunday. Now, if one of the side had leaked it and the other one was really unhappy or vice versa, well, they're still talking to each other now. So it kind of suggests that either they don't mind that it was leaked, or that neither of them leaked it and they were literally followed to that location, which we know that the paparazzi is still sometimes capable of doing. But the two sides are still talking to one another, despite that story appearing in the Mail on Sunday, which then lets you project ahead to September when Harry's here, and whether or not, of course, he will meet his dad in the 3-4 days that he's here in the UK.
Oh.
As somebody said to me this week, I mean, for both sides, was it bad for either side to have come together? It looks good on both of them, right?
It does, yeah.
So, they're opening up a channel of communication, and even if that's just, letting the other side know what each are doing. So, not telling them, asking them for permission, but just a kind sort of, polite, this is what we're doing, this is what we're up to, communicating.
Yeah.
So even if we've got to that stage, it's some sort of progress. But it'll be really interesting to see come September when Prince Harry's here for his Well Child Awards, whether they meet.
And also that time of September is around the time we now call Accession Day. It used to be, of course, in February the 6th, when the Queen was always at Sandringham. But Accession Day now is the day of the accession of the current monarch, and that was the 8th of September. So Carrie could well be in the UK for that. So anyway, I'm going to call it afternoon tea rather than coffee morning. Better?
So when the press secretaries went for afternoon tea. A bit wordy, but we'll go with it.